What is going on, guys? It's Ricky here, and you guys are watching E-REVO RC. So today, I want to talk about your first RC car. I'm going to tell you what my first RC car was leading up to me getting back into RCs, and you guys are probably going to hate me after you find out what got me back into RCs. You guys are probably not going to like it, so stick around. What is up, guys, and welcome to the show. So we're going to talk about our first RCs. So I'm just going to start right off with my first RC. I think I was probably 9 years old. It was Christmas. I opened up a present, and it was an RC car. It was actually a JRL 57 Chevy. It was black with flames, and I actually found a picture of one online. So whoever put this picture up, thank you. So check it out. Here it is. I was super excited about it, man. It was awesome. You know, I couldn't wait. My parents got the batteries and everything. I threw the batteries in it. And this is on Long Island, and we don't get much snow, and we actually had snow that year. So I freaking threw the batteries in it, drove it around the house a little bit, and I'm like, I'm taking it outside in the snow, and the thing had like slicks for freaking wheels on it. So I bring it out on the back deck, and I'm sitting there doing donuts with the thing. I couldn't even go straight. All it was doing was spinning the tires, slinging the mud everywhere, you know. It was the snow, slinging the snow everywhere. It was... I had a lot of fun with it. It was cool. How long did it last? I can't even tell you. Maybe a week, 2 weeks. I think I broke the steering servo is what it was. Yeah, I think most of those cheap RC cars, I broke the RC. Most of those cheap RC cars, I broke the steering servo on them, and I just could not fix it. So that was my first RC. And I want you guys to comment. Tell me what your first RC car was. And if you guys can find a picture of it, and I'm talking like old RC cars, you know what I mean? Even if they're new ones, you know, whatever. Just throw it in the comments below. You know, if you can get a link for the picture, I'd love to see it, guys. I really would. So that was my first RC car. I had a ton of fun with that thing. So I broke that one. I kept it to my parents for another one. No, you broke the other one. I didn't get one for probably another, I don't know, year or two. And then finally, I think it was a, what was it? It was a Nico older Ford F-150 RC car. It took like freaking 100 AA batteries you had to put in it. The controller had 100 AA batteries, you know. So I drove that thing around for a while. It was fun. Had big tires on it. I couldn't find a picture of that one. I was looking. I could not find a picture of that one. It was awesome. I had a great time with it. It was good on jumps, you know. It probably did freaking. I think my Wraith was faster than that thing, you know. It was probably like 8 miles an hour, if that. But I had a blast with that one, too. You know, I drove that one probably a couple weeks. Yeah, I was breaking them. Even when I was a kid, I was breaking them, you know. Drove that one for a couple of weeks, and the same thing. I hit a curb, broke the steering servo, and the steering doesn't work no more. And that thing was stuck left. You know what I mean? There was nothing I could do. I couldn't replace it. I couldn't find replacement parts. So that thing got thrown in the corner and forgotten about for a while. So that sat for a little while. And maybe 6 months later, my uncle actually had a Tamiya Monster Beetle that he had put together, and he beat the snot out of it and had a great time with it, you know, and he gave it to me. So I took that, charged up the batteries, you know, that 15-minute charge, you had to crank it, and it freaking 15 minutes for a nickel metal hydride, or nickel cadmium, I don't know, whatever they were back then, and, you know, I would do that all day long, you know what I mean, just keep charging the battery, taking it out, big freaking stupid long antenna on the controller. It was actually, it wasn't a pistol grip, it was like a helicopter freaking drone or something controller with the sticks on it, you know, and I was ripping that thing around, having a good time with that. And that one, I don't even remember. I think I burned up the speed controller on that one. Right now that I think about it, at the time I had no clue what was wrong with it. It just wouldn't work, you know what I mean? So that thing got put on a shelf. That lasted probably 2 weeks. So that thing got put on a shelf. And that sat, eventually, I hate to say it, I wound up just throwing it out. You know, I didn't know what it was. I was a kid, guys. Give me a break, you know. So, I mean, years, I grew up, you know, as a freaking arrogant little teenager, all that good stuff. I grew up, and, you know, I didn't mess around with RCs. And every every so often I'd be like, man, I want to get another RC car. Man, I want to get another RC car, man. You know, I want to go play with an RC car, you know. And then I just never bought one. And then I wound up buying a cheap one from Snap-on. And that thing lasted a day. And I was like, screw this. These cars are junk, blah, 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 blah. So that was that. So many, many years went by. Back in 2012. Now, this is the thing that's going to probably piss you guys off. And I know I'm going to get so much shit for this, but it just happens, you know. I mean, I got lucky. I don't know what to tell you guys. So the car that got me back into RC back in 2012, 2011, 2012, something like that, was the brushless E-REVO. Okay, so that was the car that got me back into it, like hardcore, full-fledged back into it. Now, I work for Ford. I'm a factory-trained Ford technician, master technician, in case you guys didn't know. So I work in a shop. I work for Ford. So one of my buddies, one of my younger buddies, you know, he was just coming up. He just started out, right? And he's like, man, I got to get a bigger toolbox. He's buying tools and stuff like that, and he needs a bigger toolbox. So our Snap-on rep is like, oh, man, we have a promotion going on a decent-sized toolbox. He said the toolbox comes with an RC car. I don't know what RC car it is, but it comes with one. And my buddy said, I don't want no stupid RC car. I said, oh, man, cool. You know, when you get the RC car, I'll buy it from you. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, great, cool, no problem. Yeah, all right. So a couple of weeks go by. We're waiting for the toolbox to get delivered. So the toolbox got delivered. So he brings the toolbox in, right? And I told him, I was like, dude, I'll give you $100 for it. I'll give you $200, whatever you want for the car. I'll give it to you. So he brings the toolbox in. Goes back out to his Snap-on truck, brings this giant box in, puts it on top of the freaking toolbox. I walk up to my buddy. I'm like, man, is that the RC car? He goes, yeah, that's the RC car. I said, you want to keep it or can I buy it? You know, you still want to sell it? He goes, no, man, I already told you I'd sell it to you. That thing's just going to sit underneath my bed, and I'd play with it once, break it, and never play with it again, and it'd be lost forever, you know, whatever. So I was like, fine, how much you want for it? He's like, give me $100. This is where you guys are going to get pissed. $100 I paid for a brand new brushless edition, Snap-on special edition brushless E-REVO. There you go. I told you guys. $100 I paid for my E-REVO. Brand new, in the box. It came with the little iPod mount on the controller and everything. You know, it was a pretty nice deal. So that's it. I paid $100 for my brushless edition E-REVO. And I had no clue, man. That's really not the car to get back into RC, especially with the lack of RCing I've had over the years, you know what I mean? And yeah, I paid $100 for that thing, man, but I paid for that car 100 times over. I went through 3 speed controls. The first speed controller, I saw a video of a guy driving freaking the E-REVO in his tub saying how waterproof it was. But what I didn't realize, it was a brushed E-REVO. So I took my E-REVO out with the Mamba Monster, the original Mamba Monster. And I'm blasting around, flying through puddles, freaking just going swimming with the car, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden the car just quits moving. So I bring it inside, and you get that freaking speed controller smell. I had no clue what was wrong with the thing. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And finally, I plugged the battery in, and I saw a big puff of smoke come out of that speed controller. So I was like, crap. Looked one up. It was $150 for the speed controller. So I'm like, crap, man. So I go ahead, buy a new speed controller, put the speed controller in, $150 later. Oh, man. Cruising around. This one, I watched a video on waterproofing them. So I freaking took it apart. I waterproofed it. I put it in, and I did all this. I'm driving it around, cruising, and it probably lasted a couple more months. I got it wet again. Fried another speed controller. And then I got sick of it. I started, I actually let the car sit for a little bit, and I actually wound up buying a Traxxas Slash and bashed that thing around for a good few months. I was freaking beating that up. It's my kid Slash. It doesn't see much action these days, but it's a lot of action when we first got it. Let me tell you, man, the first week I owned that thing, I burned up the motor. I guess the guy at the hobby store said that's crazy. that you were playing with it so much, but hey, I had nothing else to do, you know. My E-REVO was broke. So finally they came out with the Mama Monster 2, the waterproof one. So I put that one in at $100, $150, $160, whatever I paid for that. And I put that in, and yeah, I just started breaking everything else after that, man. Freaking control arms, axles. I blew the transmission on the thing, broke the chassis in half, knuckles. I mean, you name it on the E-REVO, and I broke it. Probably twice. So that's the story, guys. That's what got me back into it. And, you know, I've loved it ever since, you know what I mean? I still have a bunch of RCs. I still RC, as you guys can tell. You know, it's become quite a weird obsession, but a fun one nonetheless, you know. So that's my story, guys. I really want you guys to comment below. Tell me what your first RC was, you know. If you got any crazy RC stories like that, put it in the comments below, you know. And like I said, if you find pictures of your old RC cars, man, put them in the description below. I want to see them. I want to see those things, man. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Everybody keep having fun with RC, man. Really, you know, you just got to keep having fun with it, all right? So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.